Hey Tubesters, it's RN4 Song, the Bougie Mystic, and I'm back with another video. This is another potion video. I'm really enjoying getting back into my mortar and pestle methods of making the oils. I don't know, there's just something about it. This is a traditional method to making our oils. It's just kind of in reference to Jezi Baba and her mortar and pestle in the mythos, or in the legend. I'm not sure which word it is. So, as the video, and not as the video, as the name says, we are making a Spyder Potion. This is just some stickers that I had, and I had some little, like, plastic thingy. I don't actually know what to call it. So I just put the spider on top of the black top. It doesn't really stand out too much. Just because it is black on black, but hopefully you can kind of see it. This was actually a bottle that had some black sun or solar eclipse oil in it, and I'm really glad about that, that I decided to make this oil, because this isn't something that like I knew or something like that. But I was looking in correspondence, and this is why I love looking and looking up magical properties and correspondences and stuff like that, because you can learn new things. Like, there's nothing wrong with going by intuition and cultural traditions or heritage or whatever, but it's something to be said about learning more. You know, always be willing to learn more. Anyway, when I was looking at the correspondences, because I have this Llewellyn's Complete Book of Correspondences or something. It's something along those lines. It said that's connected to the sun and moon, which is great, because I was trying to figure out how am I gonna, because there's always like a little bit of oil when you pour out a bottle. So I was like, damn, what am I gonna do with this? So yeah, I'm really glad that it has those associations, because I can pull on them, or just allow them to be when I fill up this oil. So, and then we're also going to further plan that with a couple of items. So this is going to be a very herbaceous, very woodsy type of oil. You might not be able to replicate this, and that is fine. You don't have to. And there are certain ingredients that I'm not going to be putting in the mortar and pestle. Actually, there's only 2 ingredients that I'm going to make sure I have all my ingredients here. Yeah, there's only 2 ingredients that I want to like really grind in the oil. Yeah, so we're gonna start with putting the items in the bottle first, actually. That way it's already done and you can see it. So, the first thing is, it kind of got crushed a little bit when I was taking it out of the bottle, but of course it wouldn't be spider oil without a spider, so we are putting this spider body in there. And I don't enchant that. I will activate the spider when enchanting the whole potion. This is also some spider silk. This is optional. Of course, now I'm seeing everywhere spider silk, cobwebbing, and all that I can just acquire myself. And it was that if it was available at the time that I was wanting to make this potion, then I would have just probably used some of these sticks that I'm going to be using in here and collecting the spider silk. But I thought I would just use this. I will be keeping the jar so I can collect my own spider silk and just have it labeled. But that's what this is. Just some spider silk on a twig. So spider silk is great for bindings, but also for mostly bindings, but it's also really good for manifestations and making things stick in your life. So it's primarily bindings, but it's also good for like attraction work, because things stick, right? So this is willow. I'm going to be putting this whole stick in here. I will be breaking it in half. There we go. And willow is for the afterlife, spirits of the dead, and communication with spirits. And all of these correspondings are associated with the spider, so that's why I'm using these ingredients. Alright. And then this is spruce. Makosh, or excuse me, the spider in my tradition is one of the animals connected to Makosh. So I did want to use this element, and the spruce is also connected to Makosh. I will also be using up these spruce needles, but that was going to be grinded in the potion, in the mortar and pestle with the oil. I'm just gonna like remove the loose branches and then break this in half. And the spruce, again, is connected to Makosh, wisdom, nature, spirit specifically, and memories. And the spider is going to be good for all that. It's going to be the spider. I see the spider very much as like a forest and woodland totem. So when you're trying to connect with the fae or any form of nature spirit, you could use the spider as a good ally for that work, as well as gaining wisdom and tapping into memories. Okay, and now I'm going to add this mushroom. And I'm going to attempt to add this whole. This is just like a little small mushroom. Mushrooms are very powerful in our tradition. They're very magical. And it is not an uncommon thing for mushrooms, like a jar of mushrooms, to be collected and stored in the cupboard. So, mushrooms are great for cycles and for just magic and power in general, and any type of like shamanic works, like shape-shifting, primarily shape-shifting, but like also just like that magic and power of like a sacred space. And just really like amplifications. It's like really just tapping into that general magic, cycles, and also just shamanic work of like shape-shifting, animal veneration, working with animal guides. It's really good for that type of stuff. This might have to be... The good thing is that they're really malleable. So you can usually... Oof. There we go. There we go. Mushroom is in there. And it'll open up again once it's hydrated. Oh, and now we want to add the Spanish moss. I'm going to add this piece. Or do I want to add this piece? Oh no, that's too big. Okay. And Spanish moss is great for... we use it specifically for like justice and retribution work, kind of, and also it kind of has that same concept of like entanglement, which is why we like to use it for justice and retribution workings against enemies and foes and all that, because it really traps them and makes them face their consequences. So. And I'm going to use this amber. I'm gonna add that now, just because it might be a little difficult, so, or do I want to crush it in the mortar and pestle? No, I really want to add it whole in this raw state. So the amber is really good for creativity and wisdom, life, just like the life in general, memories again, and manifestation. So we're going to activate. It also has connections to the sun, so I'm bringing that in here as well, because I will be using a selenite moon blessed oil. So again, we're kind of tapping on those sun and moon properties, and with this having some of that black sun oil left in there, that has some of the dark moon properties as well. So we have both main phases of the moon and the sun being represented twice. There's the actual sun charged oil, and then there's the solar crystal resin, right? I also wanted to add this amber because amber is used in Artrin Mamash Lavari. You know what it is? It's this dang blasted spruce twig. Uh-oh. Well, we're just gonna have to see it through. Spruce twig is like preventing it. There we go. And then we'll just push that through here. Boom. Add these little pieces to add as much of that amber as possible. All right. Okay. And now we're going to do, actually I'm gonna do the garnet now. We're gonna add a good bit of garnet in here just because I have a bunch to spare. So this is garnet that I've had for years. This little garnet chips, I got 3 in here. And I'm gonna use these. And then I'm also going to get some of my new garnet chips. And I'm gonna do, as some people like to say, a goodly amount. And this is strictly for manifestation. Garnet is connected to the root chakra. The root chakra is a very needs, necessity, and primal chakra, and really is about getting down dirty and gritty when you need to and making things happen. So making manifestations, making sure you have what you need. And to me, the spider is a very primal animal guide, so I think it's perfect. Some people also think garnet is kind of chthonic or vampiric because of its blood-like colors and all that stuff. So aesthetically, I feel like it applies as well. Not that I really chose this for aesthetics. Get that crystal chip in here. All right. I have some blackthorn needles that are also called witch's pins. These ones were specifically used in a working already, and I was gonna reuse them, but I think that I'm just gonna reuse them in this work, or in this potion, because they've already had that connection with being used against an enemy. So, and blackthorn is great for destruction and defense and curses. So I'm going to just quickly charge them for that, but also make sure that because these were used already for enemy work, That's why I thought these I have other ones, but these were already used, and I just think it's just perfect. I don't know, I feel like now I'm just repeating myself, so I'm just enchant these real quick. Okay, now we are done, and we can do the oil. All right, so the spruce needles, again, Makosh, Wisdom, Nature Spirits, and Memory, so I'm going to enchant those real quick. All right, and then the last thing I'm going to add is some wormwood. Wormwood is another one of those traditional herbs that is used in this tradition, or in like the family tradition. I'm gonna just give a good little spoon. I lied, I'm gonna do another good little spoon. And another good little spoon. Fuck it. And another good little spoon. An extra good spoon. There we go. I like that very much. And wormwood is good specifically, well, I guess not specifically, but really good for summoning spirits of all kinds. So again, you could use it for ancestors, you can use it for entities, any spirits of the dead, nature spirits. You want to summon a spirit, or, well, it's really just spirits. I lied about the entities. But nature spirits, that verbiage does technically include some entities connected to the natural world. But entities would also include angels. This would not really call on angels. This would only call on entities that fall under nature spirits. And then any spirits of the dead. Yeah, that's pretty much what this would call on. So let me just mix it up real quick. Doopy doopy doo. And enchant it. I did forget to mention that's also good for like any type of folk saints or folk spirits that don't necessarily fall under nature spirit per se, but do fall under like a spirit. And now, what did I do with that oil? Oh, here it is. Again, if this isn't enough oil, it'll be fine. I can just add some more. And I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but when we do this method, we're like working with and calling on Jezi Baba to also bless this potion. There we go. Bring our little funnel. It's actually not that little. All right, y'all. So, got the mess cleaned up. Got most of that herbage in here. I might add a little more of it. I'm not sure. I may also see if I can make an incense out of it, especially since I have more of like the Spanish moss and the mushroom. And maybe I'll just like, what am I trying to say? Like burn it and then use that to also enchant this potion. But that is my Spyder Potion, Spyder oil, y'all. I did have to re-glue the spider. I don't think it's, oh, okay, it's about to dry on there. Hopefully it dries on there. It seemed like when some of the oil got on it, it like messed up the glue. So that might not be something that's a viable option. Maybe I'll have to like glue it on here or something, or I don't know, just not use it. But that is my Spyder Potion. Let me know if you make one in the comments below. Is it something that you think you would even use? And if it is, do you have a recipe? Or if you haven't made one yet, how would you make yours? As always, thank you for watching. Abundant and eternal blessings. Mwah.